Hi, I'm Cristina Smith, creator, along with my brother, puzzle master Rick Smith, of the Yoga for the Brain series of profound philosophy and secret message word search books. Today, we are celebrating the release of our fifth book in the series, Inspired Wisdom Word Search Yoga for the Brain, which features 60 contributing authors. To celebrate, we are interviewing some of them so that you can get to know some of their wisdom. Today we have with us Nadia Kim, and she's the author of puzzle number 36, Awareness and Self-Love. Welcome, Nadia. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here with you. And this is like a big deal. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Um, yeah, so I am a mystic and a psychic intuitive. I am a holistic healer using words and energy to help transform and uplift and raise the vibrations of the world, just being a being of light, not to mention the people that do come and seek services from me. So I have gone through my own darkness and I continue to do so because we all have layers of complexity within us. And so I don't profess to be some perfect being, didn't come here to be perfect. As Abe says, you never get it right and you never get it done. So, but yeah, I've gone through that darkness myself many times over 40 years. And, I'm just happy to be able to share what my knowledge is, what I've brought in from my past lives, what I've encountered in this life, and all the darkness that I have gone through to be that master alchemist and learning how to transform and transmute that darkness into light energy for the world and for others and myself. So.
Well, wonderful. And it looks like one of your four-legged animal family members have joined us. Please tell us a little bit about where you live.
Yeah, that's Leo. He's also an Aquarius like I am. I live in Owings Mills, Maryland. I'm, recently divorced after 19 years of going through some serious darkness. And I am an independent mother of 3 children, 2 teenagers and 1 on the way. So.
Woohoo. Wow.
Yeah, and we celebrate that. She already acts like a teenager though. So I think
Wow. Well, you're busy.
Everybody says that, but I tell you, with everything that I do, I have been very good about keeping a mentality of, I got plenty of time. And I
Nice.
really do, because I have a full-time job outside of my businesses and I always have plenty of time. And that's why I have plenty of time.
Well, and that's just talking about your personal energy management, and to be able to manage your energy so that you can create that kind of time is really a testament to the work that you've done on yourself and the awareness and self-love you have for yourself to be able to do that, right?
Absolutely. Because people like I've self-published my own novels. Like I've written 8 full-length novels since 2007, and I've published 4 of them so far. And everybody's always like, where do you find the time? There's plenty of time, but we don't realize that we are creating our reality by saying what we don't have or focusing on what we don't want. Like I say this to my clients all the time when I'm giving them these concepts. They're like, but if I'm supposed to focus on what I want, how do I know that's going to really come to being? I said, well, let's to look at it this way. How many times have you focused on what you didn't want and then that came into being? And it's always 100% of the time. So why is it that you can do that but the other? Because you're so focused on it, because there's fears, because there's anxiety, because there's all these beliefs that are in the subconscious and tucked away in your emotions that are lower vibrating energies. And because of that, you don't realize that that's why you're creating the things that you don't want. So.
Well, and that's what being really self-aware does help with. It helps you excavate all that stuff. And the more you excavate and love yourself anyway, and continue to love yourself through all of the things that you might go, ooh, really? That's me? But you continue to love yourself. That's hugely wise. And that's some great wisdom you bring to our readers here. So what advice would you give to someone who spends a lot of time going like this, and this is all they see is what's really wrong in their life?
I would really encourage them, first and foremost, start taking time out of their day to sit and reflect on those thoughts and shift them, because that's the pivot. There's nothing wrong with knowing what you don't want. It's actually great because a lot of times it's a lot easier to know what you don't want than what you do. And so by having this understanding, this idea of what you don't want, it's slowly but surely pushing you down the path of more of understanding of what you do want. And so it's really important to take that time out of your day, even if it's for 5 minutes, and allow yourself to come into awareness about what your thoughts are. And I will tell you that another thing is really important. You're sometimes going to feel things in your body and you ignore them because you're so focused on the thought or something externally. But there's stuff happening between your thoughts and your feelings that are affecting your body, because biologically, because of the stressors, you're storing that energy in the form of an emotion in your body. And so even knowing what you don't want, you can feel it. Sometimes it's in your belly, sometimes it's in your chest. And so coming into that awareness will also clue you in that there's a disconnect with where you want to be versus where you're at. And you have to practice the awareness. And sometimes it's just a matter of slowly setting baby steps to coming into awareness about your thoughts and feelings, and understanding that when you have those negative thoughts, it's okay, but see them, acknowledge them, and then say, okay, I know what I don't want. I know what I'm afraid of. I know where my anxiety is. So now what do I want? What's a step? What's one sentence that I can create that feels good, that when I think about it, I can feel it and it feels amazing to me? It doesn't have to be a big one. Big ones are going to be scary and we're not going to be able to do it. They have to be these little baby things. So maybe it's something as simple as I don't have the answer today and that's okay. Something as simple as that helps to begin to pivot the energy that is so focused on the negative to focus on the positive. And then reaching out. There's all kinds of people who are holistic healers like myself. There's YouTube videos. There's so many books. I highly recommend Dr. Joe Dispenza. Because why? Because he's going to give you what in laws of attraction can seem like esoteric concepts. And he's going to bring it down to science and biology and how those thoughts are affecting your physiology, your epigenetics, your genes. And so it's a matter of making that time for yourself. That's what self-love is. You can pamper yourself all you want. You can sit back and you can do little things to make yourself feel good, but coming to the deeper levels of awareness about what's going on up here and in here from the past is what is really going to give you those deeper levels of loving yourself. And the more you do it and the more you practice it, the more you validate yourself, the more you begin to learn how to meet your own emotional needs. And then the less codependent you become on other people making you happy, because we have this thing ingrained in us that says so-and-so needs to make me happy, either by not doing something or by doing something. And that's really not fair to put that kind of pressure on people. I mean, do you want other people to put that pressure on you? So me and my best friend, we have this thing. We said, we're not responsible for each other's feelings. We love each other enough that if somebody says something that we've done, we personally will acknowledge it, but we're not responsible for each other's feelings. And we know that. So we say, well, I'm going to express this to you because it feels good for me to, but I'm not looking for you to validate my feelings. And so when you're that self-aware and emotionally grounded, nobody can hurt you. And not only that, but you can actually make yourself happy and realize that you can exist in this world independently. So.
Wow, thank you. That was really sage advice. Thank you so much. I mean, we are the greatest puzzles in our own lives. The more we get to know each other and the more we excavate parts of ourselves and find out where the pieces go and which pieces really don't belong anymore and bring in new pieces, that's all a part of it. But what other kinds of puzzles do you like besides the puzzle of your own inner self?
Well, I like the puzzle of astrology, which does connect back to your own inner self. However, it is an external medium. And I think that that's the great thing about puzzles is there's so much like that you can uncover within a puzzle that makes it a wonderful and profound experience. If I were doing an external puzzle, it might be like a word search or a Sudoku. But for me, I am such a mystic that exploring my own internal puzzle, it takes up way too much time for me. new external puzzles. And I'm happy about that. You know, I'm very enthusiastic about that because it's a mystery that I think is very worthy of continual exploration.
Well, thank you so much, Nadia. I really appreciate it. And thank you for sharing your puzzle in Inspired Wisdom Word Search Yoga for the Brain. You can pick up your copy and do your puzzles on Amazon, barnesandnoble.com, target.com, independent bookstores everywhere. Ask for it by name. And so enjoy doing your puzzle, the puzzle of you, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.